Hello viewers, this is Mark here, and I am back with another PE battle. This time it is against Lax's Life from the Battle Finder, and yes, what do you see on my opponent's side of the field? It is yet another Meganium. I just cannot shake these things off. Seems like every other PU game I play, when I think I've seen the last one, it is back, like a dodgy stomach after a second helping of Grandma's Casserole. Anyway, other things on my opponent's team, he has got some very interesting PU Pokemon. Growlithe, Plusle, and Eevee, all likely to be choice Scarfers, or some kind of maybe choice band or choice specs, choiced in some way. And they will outspeed anything on my team, barring Mr. Mime, which is my choice Scarfer. I've also got my defensive core of Slowpoke and Tentacle, and then just 3 sweepers. I just kind of mix this team together. I didn't really have any kind of plan. So let's get straight into the battle. So first turn here, I just lead with Mr. Mime, because I will outspeed anything on his team, as he leads with the Pelipper. Now this is a bad matchup for me, because I don't actually carry any electric move, and I don't really want to go for the trick here. I don't know what item he's carrying, so I don't really want to waste my choice Scarf at this early stage of the game. So I just flat switch out into Tentacle. I can wall him for days. Pelipper's never really carry anything like HP Electric or anything like that, so Pelipper isn't really going to be a threat here, as he just goes for the Rain Dance, which is kind of worrying as he goes into his Plusle. I just may go for that safe knockoff. It's going to hit anything that comes in, as the knockoff is Life Orb, and I'm kind of worried here because I have nothing that really resists the electric move. I'm thinking there's going to be a big Thunder here. I can live with one with Mr. Mime, I reckon, but he actually just goes for the Encore, which is really, really good for me, as I can get that safe switch. I can now just fire off a Side Shock, which will hit anything on his team. I don't really know why he went for the Encore there. I wasn't going to be staying in with Tentacle, fearing the stab move, the stab, maybe Thunder even. So Encore was kind of a strange play, but anyway, he goes out to his Pelipper again. He just completely walls the Side Shock. Its defense is very, very good, so I just got into Eric here, the Slowpoke, and I don't really know why I did this. I should have just gone straight out to Tentacle, because that Hurricane does a lot of damage, almost half to Slowpoke, but it's not too bad. I do have the Regenerator, so I can now just switch out into Tentacle to take another Hurricane, which, as you'll see here, does literally nothing. I mean, that only does maybe a quarter, maybe less than a quarter, something like that. I mean, Tentacle is a beast. It can take special hits for days. I mean, in PU, Tentacle is probably one of the better special walls. But anyway, Rain is now down. I know he's not going to want to stay in and go for another move against Tentacle, because it's doing literally nothing. So I just double switch out into Gigalith, as he switches out into his Plusle. Now, he did lose his Life Orb earlier, so even if he's got the HP Grass, or HP Ground, or any super effective hidden power, I know I can live one. I can just go for that Rock Polish, get up to +2, I can now outspeed anything on his team, and this means I can just go for the Stone Edge. I didn't want to go for the Earthquake here in case he switched out into Pelipper or Meganium, and thankfully Stone Edge hits and it just clean takes that Plusle. That thing is no defences whatsoever, as he now brings in the Meganium. And Durka seeing this, he does not like it. He has had enough of Meganiums, and he just goes,
"Enough is enough! I have had it!"
And Durka does what it does best. He goes for the Life Orb Explosion, and that is just going to clean take out Meganium. We're not playing any games here. We do not want to see that thing around. He's willing to sacrifice himself for the team just to take out that huge defensive threat. So on the double down here, I just go into Yanma, as it's got pretty good coverage against the rest of his team, as he goes into the Eevee. I kind of thought I might be able to live a hit here if he does indeed outspeed, which he does, as I found out he is a choice Scarf user. But he goes for that Retaliate, double power, 140 base power now, stab, adaptability, which doubles it, 280 base power. That is just going to clean take out Yanma. No living there. So I'd bring in the Stoutland. I have to go for Protect here because I am a Protect Last Resort sweeper. It's really, really good endgame sweeper actually for Stoutland. He's got a lot of base power. With the Scrappy he can hit anything, as he just switches out into his Pelipper. I'm not really fearing anything from the Pelipper here. Skull perhaps. The only thing I'm really worried about is the burn, but you know, that's 30% chance. I've got to take that chance. As I just go for Last Resort, it does 50%, maybe even more than that, 55%, something like that. So he's going to switch out here into his Mawile, which he thinks can take a hit, but no sir, Mawile is not going to take a hit. This is Stoutland the power we're talking about here, as it does about 70%. At the time I thought this was a crit, because Mawile's usually defensive build, but this must be more of an offensive set. And my Stoutland here is actually holding Metronome, which every time you use a continuous move it increases the power by 10%. So this is my third Last Resort now, which increases the power by 20%, as it just clean takes out the Pelipper, as he just comes in with the Eevee again. At the time I thought I might be able to outspeed here. I mean, Stoutland's speed is 289 I think, so Eevee mustn't be more than that. If he did outspeed, it mustn't be that much more. But he does take me out, Stoutland's not living that, and I can just go into my own Mr. Mime just to outspeed and go for that Focus Blast, as he brings in Mawile, and Focus Blast being Focus Blast actually hits for once. That is insane. So I am on actually a pretty good streak here. That is 1 out of 1 for Focus Blast. That is impressive, as he just goes into his Growlithe. He won't be able to outspeed me as I go for that Focus Blast, but no, Focus Blast is Focus Miss, as it does indeed miss. What more can I hope for really? 1 out of 2 is pretty good, as he just goes for Flare Blitz and takes me clean out. That is a lot of power coming from that Growlithe. So on the down here, I just go into Slowpoke, physically defensive Slowpoke. He can take any hit from Growlithe, even the Crunch and the Wild Charge, as he just switches out again into his Eevee. I just go for the Scald, going for that Burn, going for that super effective damage on the Growlithe, but it doesn't do very much, as he just goes for that Return. And Return in itself, look at that, I mean that only did about a quarter, as I can just paralyse him here. That is an adaptability Eevee, which we saw clean take out Yanma, clean take out Stoutland, as it only does a tiny bit really to Slowpoke. As he does switch out again, seeing that he didn't do very much, goes back into Growlithe, as I can just fire off the Psychic, which does a lot. So he goes for the Wild Charge here, and as I thought earlier on, I do take that very nicely, and I can just take out the Growlithe here, so he is down to his last Pokemon, a paralysed Eevee, which he then brings in. Now, I thought at the time I could outspeed him here. Usually when you paralyse things, you just assume that you outspeed it, but Slowpoke, it is a Slowpoke. I don't know why I thought that earlier on, that I would outspeed him. Slowpoke's base speed is terrible, but it's alright, I've still got Tentacle, I can just switch him in here, go for that Scald. Might be a 2-hit KO, but no, he takes it really well. It could be a 3-hit KO here, so it's looking like a lot of trouble. I'm going to need the Paralysis or a crit here, as I just go for that Scald. Takes him down to the red, but doesn't quite take him out, as he doesn't get paralysed, and he can just clean take me out, and that will be good game, the very narrow 1-0. So that was good game, Lax's Life. Now that Eevee is a threat, ladies and gentlemen. Even when I thought it was game over with Slowpoke in, I underestimated Eevee's speed. Or did I overestimate Slowpoke's speed? No, I underestimated Eevee, that sounds a lot better. However, I did manage to send another Meganium to Poker Hell, and actually took it clean out in 1 hit. How many times do you get to see that happen in a game? So, on that happy note, I hope you all enjoyed the battle, and I will see you next time. Thank you, goodbye.